now. Go.
Okay, so girls, we're just going to cover really the slight edge. We're going to talk a little bit about when you're feeling lost and how you can overcome it. And then we're going to touch on really having that resilience mindset because your business depends on it. So when you're in this kind of business, you have to have, you're in control of your mindset. So others can inspire you, but really you need to be the one that's going to motivate you each day. No one else can motivate you. So you need to be able to create that mindset for yourself. So what I really focused in on was we're always being told to do the things to make your business grow. But if you don't have the correct mindset, you're going to struggle with this. And you're really going to struggle each and every morning. You're not going to want to out of bed even. You're going to be like, oh, I've got to bring the kids to school, but when I get home, can I go for a nap? You know what I mean? You're not going to want to dive into your business and make that impact. Now, we have just had, so this is January. So a lot of people think that this is our slow months. And we have had greens popping up everywhere. What does that tell you? It tells you that it's not actually a slow month. People have got a mindset of it's a slow month. So what do you do if you tell yourself it's a slow month? You don't send out your messages of opportunity. You might not ask your customers if they want to buy something because, you know, after Christmas, no one's got money. Well, that's not true. But it's the truth that we're telling ourselves, and it's our mindset. So then when you are making your decisions each day, you have to realize that you can either be on the slight edge of success or the slight edge of failure, and it's a very, very thin line. But we're human and we're not always going to make the right decision. However, it's like creating habits. You've got to keep doing it every day. So I think, what is it, 21 times that you have to do something to create a habit? It's like when we first started our Facebook profiles, how many people never posted at all on Facebook and were like little stalkers and just used to look at other people's profiles? Because I know I did that. But then when I started my business, and I was told, especially at the very start, we didn't have any restrictions. I was told you have to post on your business, your profile, about 5 times a day, 5 to 7. We were told. I was like a rabbit in headlights. I was like, one, what do I post? 2, my friends are going to think I'm crazy because I don't usually post on my Facebook wall. And 3, how am I going to remember? I'm like a blue personality mixed with red, so I'm like squirrel. My train of thought would get lost, and the only way I did it was creating a habit. So, if you have a daily method of operation sheet (DMO) that you have every day, and you start creating them habits, you're going to be on the slight edge of success. Instead of, at the moment, if you're feeling a bit lost, if you're feeling like, I really don't know if my business is working for me right now, I've had a really slow month, it's January, it's after Christmas, it's expected. It's not actually expected. What's actually happened is maybe you've not taken the activity that you were supposed to, or maybe you're doing your DMO, however you weren't doing it in the right mindset, because that can come across in your messages and your posts as well, and you're just feeling a little bit lost. The best and the fastest way to get over that feeling is activity. So as soon as you have, because you have emotions, don't you? So just imagine it, on one side of the page we've got all of the negative emotions we feel when we're not busy, when our business is failing. So we feel isolated, maybe we feel depressed, we're looking at other people who are doing it and we feel inadequate. We might feel like we're a failure and we're embarrassed to tell our families that, no, my business isn't doing well this month. And then, so you've got all of these emotions on one side. See, if you start having activity, you won't have time to think about all these emotions, and that activity is going to produce results. Then you won't have these emotions. So basically, the activity takes over the emotions. So if you are feeling stuck at the moment, it isn't because you're not enough. You're enough. You've done the hard bit. You've signed up. You've got a business. You've got a back office that you can make money with. It's a funny thing. We were at one of the trainings, the unique ones, and I think, I can't remember her name. Kirsty's going to kill me. But one of the American presenters with blonde hair. There's a few of them. Yes. No, it wasn't her, because it was one of the elite ones. When I went the very first time, and they were giving out mascaras and lipsticks in the crowd, and she got on the stage and she was like, I just think it's amazing that they're doing this, because I don't see a lipstick being thrown out into the audience. I see money. I see physical money, because guess what? You can sell that when you get home. And everyone was just like, yeah, I know. And she went, so why do we not think about this when we've got our back office? So all of these people that you prospect, what's a common objection? Oh, I can't do it because I haven't got the sign up fee, and that's why I can't sell the makeup. We've all joined. What's stopping us? If you think about it that way, what is stopping you from making money from the makeup that's in your back office? You've done the hard bit. You've joined the company. You have your business. The rest of it is just little consistent things to get your business moving. You get that momentum. It's hard to build up to the start. It's when you push a wheel and then you've got to really push it to get it started. But then as soon as it's started, it almost takes the momentum of itself. That is the way your business will work. So why don't we do this? Why is it so hard for us to go, right, that's it, we're going to do it? You might have lots of times where you go, right, that's it, I'm going to do it. And then the next morning comes and you've had a late night the night before and you're feeling really tired. Now, if you need to have a nap, but keep to your routine. Slot in. We are in such an awesome position. We get to create our own hours. So if you are really that tired that you need a nap, say the baby's been up, say you felt really ill last night, didn't get a good night's sleep, have a nap in the morning. But make sure you're doing your 3 hours at night time. That 3 hours is going to make so much of a difference in your business compared to maybe feeling tired, doing it in the morning, dabbling, getting lost on Facebook by looking at people's scrolls, and then you haven't actually finished your DMO that day. I know what's happened to me, girls, so talking from experience here. It's true though. If we organise ourselves better, then our mindset is going to be so much clearer and we're going to get stuff done, because it's all about getting that action over all the negative feelings. Okay, so think about this hand as being your action. You're blocking out all that negativity in your head because it's just a waste of time. So basically, you start feeling negative. You start feeling like so and so is getting up the ladder faster than me. What is it they're doing that I'm not doing? All of these thoughts, and we all have them because we're all human. However, that isn't going to get you any further in your business. Certainly not going to do your self-esteem any good. And you know what? You just need to put it down to you are enough. When we went to Tasha's boot camp, Sean was there and he was like, would you ever dream of telling your child, when does your child become not enough? Like when they're born, you've got this tiny little person in your hands and you're like, oh my God, you're so perfect. He said, right, now think about your child growing up. At what age do they not become enough in your eyes? No matter what their present circumstances are, whether they've got a job, whether they've not got a job, whether they're married with kids or whether they're single and still trying to figure it out. What time does it come that you say to them, you're really not enough? And we were all like, oh my God, never. He said, right, well, why are you not enough? And then I think that was a lot of light bulbs clipped there, because we were just like, oh yeah, that's true. Obviously, our mum and dads feel that way about us. We are enough. So we need to really hone that in our feelings, and that's going to help with your mindset, and that's going to help you be able to be a self-motivator as well. So let me just quickly look at my notes. Right, so You know when a child is playing a computer game and they're always like whooping your butt. I don't play computer games anymore because I don't like to lose. And no matter what computer game I play with my children, I lose. Even Paul started to lose. And does it mean that that child's smarter than you? No. Are they faster? Quite possibly. But what is it they have that gives them the slight edge? What is it? They've played this game before. They're not smarter than us. They're not better equipped to play this game than us, other than they already know the road that they're taking. So if we prepare ourselves for this journey at the same time, which we can do through, you know, learning more about network marketing, learning more about our business, watching the leaders follow the blueprint that they've already laid for us. We are lucky that way. We've got so many leaders now that we can, if we like a certain way they're doing it, we can literally go and recreate that in our business. What is stopping you from, you know, having foresight and being able to go in that direction? Because they've already they've already had like the pitfalls and everything. It's like when Kirsty's Facebook was closed off. So we were having a chat and she dove into Instagram. And then I said, well, I'm really enjoying my live videos at the moment, but I know we can improve them. And so we were like, right, great. She's going to learn everything she can on Instagram. I'm going to learn everything I can in live videos. And then what we're going to do is collaborate, which means that we're saving time and we're also getting all that knowledge because we've sourced it out from different people and, you know, you cross-reference it and everything else. And then we can bring it together and we can learn and be better at these subjects in half the time. So what you really need to realize is if you have constant development in your business, so not to be scared, not to be, you know, petrified that Facebook comes out with another update that you don't understand and it makes you kind of shrink back into yourself instead of going, do you know what? Facebook want us to do lives, let's do lives. It's scary sometimes, but see, on the other side of the fear is your greatest successes. So a business that anticipates and moves with the flow is a business that succeeds. Your limitations is being created if you're not happy to learn, if you're not happy to, you know, find some new skill sets. That's your limitations. We don't have limitations in this business. We have YouTube and we have leaders who are constantly telling us all these amazing new ways we can improve our business. All it takes is for us to really commit to that and be accountable to ourselves. And the more action we take in our business, the more them negative feelings are going to disappear and you're going to start feeling in control because it's all the negative feelings that make you feel lost. So really, all you have to do is be proactive and take action. And then everything else seems to just fade in the background. So I think I've covered the main body of it, girls. It really isn't that long because the bare bones of it is keep that wheel of learning consistently going. Do your self-development. That's like key. So you're always looking for new inspiration for your state of mind, but as well as that, you need to be learning new features. You know, if you don't know Facebook inside out, maybe that's what's holding you back. The fear of doing something wrong, the fear of not really understanding what you're doing. If that's the case, go and teach yourself on YouTube and put in literally any title you put in there, you can find out. I put in how to improve my live videos. There must have been about a few hundred that popped up. Kirsty did the same. She went in, she looked up Instagram, how to succeed in Instagram. She watched the videos, took notes, cross-referenced all the information, and then she upped her game. And I know that basically she's went and built over, what was it? 1,000, like over 1,000. Whoa. Yeah. 1,100. Yay! And that was in a week. No? 5 days. Right. Now, did Kirsty know anything about that before? No. Did Kirsty fall and like go, I can't do this anymore, my business is over because my Facebook page had been closed down? Maybe at the start, but you didn't stay there, did you? And now you've gone and learnt this other format because, you know, things happen in life. You might have something happen in your family that you can't spend as much time on your business. We understand that. Everyone understands that. However, if you want your business to succeed, you can find an hour a day. I defy anybody who tells me they cannot find an hour to work their business a day, and we have a DMO for that. We have DMOs for half an hour, and 3 hours. You don't have excuses, and the more excuses you give yourself, the more lost you're going to feel, and the worse your mindset's going to be, because you then beat yourself up. How many people have done that? They've literally had this great plans, yep, for the whole week. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Motivated, feeling amazing. Gets to the first day, you miss a few bits and you go, oh God, I've failed already. But you haven't. If you just take that time to realise what you're doing wrong, you're just not doing the actions. That's all it is. You're not doing anything wrong because you're already enough. You're just not doing the actions. You're not putting the effort in. And if you're really honest with yourself, you know that in yourself. But there's a difference in your mindset if you can accept, yeah, I've not done the work today and I know I need to do it. And that's going to improve your mindset and it's going to bring your business and that momentum that it needs. I hope this makes sense, girls. I almost feel like it's a circle. It really is, because if you, and that is the whole thing about the slight edge, it's all the little actions that build the bigger picture. Like, you see all these people hitting green. Guess what, guys? They didn't do that in just January. They did that from probably 3 months before, 4 months before. That is the momentum that they've built, and that's why they're hitting it in January, because they've done all the groundwork, they've done all the lives consistently, they've done the motivational inspiration in the morning, they've learned how to use Facebook properly, and they're doing it every single day. That's the only difference, and we can all do that. So that's the good news. We can all do that. We all have this opportunity, the same as everybody else, and we can all do these tasks. It all comes down to your mindset, your focus, and your drive, and we can all change that. So that's really all I need to say to you tonight, girls. I hope that helped. Any questions?
No, that was awesome. I felt like Lindsay was talking to me because I messaged her and I was like, I'm okay now.
I kept on picking you up and slapping you about a bit, but it's fine.
Yeah. Do you know what I think's really interesting though is that I did a little team challenge yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I put out a thing saying, you know, somebody answer some 5 questions, and one of the questions that we asked everybody who messaged and said they would was, have you ever considered being a unique presenter? If not, why not? And one of the 2 things that people came back with was time and confidence. Like, literally, that was it. Pretty much that was the only thing. And the other thing, they said, oh, I don't feel comfortable selling to people. Well, firstly, we don't sell. Let's just put that straight out there. Like, if you think you're going to sell stuff, you're not. You're going to recommend it, hands down. That has to be a mindset change straight away. But the confidence and the time thing, they're up here, and they are learnable skills that you can control. The time thing, I will hands down confess that I struggle with every single day, but I need to be disciplined in it. But it is learnable. And the confidence thing, when you see people hitting green, orange, purple, black, blue or pink even, actually, when we're talking about right at the start, when people start this journey, they're like, I haven't got the confidence to do this. I'm too scared to do it. And I really, really, truly believe that every single person feels that way at some level when we start. Like, nobody comes into this business going, I am freaking amazing. And if they do, they go in and then they very quickly, probably within the first 2 weeks, go, oh God, there's so much to learn. There's so much to do. How am I going to do it in all the time? This DMO says I've got to message people. I've got to post all this stuff. And it really freaks you out, because even if you go in thinking, yeah, you're like, holy God, the reality is crazy.
Yeah.
And actually, if you break it down, like you say, you've got an hour, but actually you don't even need an hour. It's 15 minutes in 4 chunks. Like, if you're struggling to find that time, I challenge you to write down, and I mean like physically write down every single time you pick up your phone and look at Facebook and not work. Like, I don't mean do something on your DMO, I just mean look at your phone and scroll and note down how long you spend doing that. And at the end of the week, you realize that every single time you did that, you could have been working. Now, I use my scroll time as my relaxation. So if I scroll, that's not working. That isn't working. I don't call it work, but it's a really interesting exercise, because I guarantee that every single one of us spends at least 2 hours a day on Facebook, whether you realize it, in literally 5-minute chunks. Like, even if it's 2 minutes, I'll just check. Do you know what you could be doing? Checking the people on the list. You know what you're doing is commenting on people you want to comment on. You know what you keep doing is messaging someone. It takes 2 seconds. It isn't a big deal, and it isn't something that you need to be worried about or freaked out about. And it's like a muscle. You have to practice it in order to get better, because if you don't, you won't. Like, we all make mistakes. It's how we deal with them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to talk about parties, because because it's not flowing that way. I'm going to talk about confidence, actually. So I think I've got about 20 minutes, and Lindsay will get where I'm coming from. So when my Facebook went down, I literally thought it was the end of the world. I didn't know how I was going to cope, and mentally my brain shut down for 1 minute at that point. It threw me out, and for 1 minute I shut down and thought to myself, no. And I switched straight away over within about 5 minutes to Instagram. But the reason I'm sharing that with you is because something happened to me in the 8 days that I was on Instagram. It was like somebody had given me permission to up my makeup game. I have always wanted to create these looks that, in my mind, not everybody's mind, in my mind, were these like makeup looks. Do you know what I mean? Like when you get your magazine and you open it and you're like, oh my God, it's like makeup porn. Do you know the looks I mean? And I was like, I want to create these makeup looks. But for some reason, I forever blamed Facebook. Oh, can't do it on Facebook because I'm building my relationships, and I don't want people to think I'm a bit of a big head and that I'm a bit cocky. But for some reason, within that 8 days on Instagram, it was like somebody had given me permission to up my makeup game. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is because it goes back to what Jay and Lindsay were saying. Nobody had given me permission to up my makeup game. There is no reason on Facebook I can't up my makeup game. There is just, for some reason in my head, I created this little wall that said, oh, don't be doing that, you're going to look like a Burke. And if you're watching this, or you're listening, or you're watching this later when it's on YouTube, and you're saying to yourself, I really want to create a look like the makeup porn look. And you say to yourself, I can't do it because I'm not good enough at makeup. I had no idea 8 days ago how to do a cut crease. I like to think I did, not going to lie. I thought I knew how to do a cut crease. But I suddenly had a lot of time on my hands. So I plugged myself into YouTube. I can't go on about YouTube enough. I'll tell you how I got back into my Facebook, because I found a Facebook hack YouTube video. That's how I got back into Facebook. YouTube, every single thing is there. If you do not know how to blend an eyeshadow, put beginners blending eyeshadow. It's there. I put in beginners cut crease. The first one I did came out really well. The second one I did, not so well. Didn't share that photo. The third one I did, I was really, really proud of, which was today. And I was so proud of it today. And then I learned on YouTube that if you lift your eyebrow with your hand in the photo, that's how it looks like those photos you see in the magazine. Why has nobody told us this?
I know.
The reason that I'm sharing this is, regardless of your makeup skills, regardless of where you are in the makeup world that we live in, every single thing is out there for you to gain your confidence. Like, I promise you, if you are a complete beginner, I mean, when I started with Unique, I thought I was really good at makeup. I thought I was so good. When I look back at those photos, I'm like, why did my friends let me go out? But I thought I was really good at makeup. But it comes down to just a confidence thing. And it's exactly what Lindsay was saying. It's just taking action. If you want to become an online party queen, if you want to become a recruiting queen, if you want to smash Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, if you want to be on those leaderboards, if you want to be green status, I hate the colour statuses myself, but if you want a certain figure a month to earn, there is nothing stopping you. And I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart because I feel like it. I know that you can feel like that you're just trying to run through thick mud at times, but you just have to trust the process. There is, no offence, Jay, no offence, Lindsay, there is nothing special about Jay or Lindsay who are green. There isn't. They haven't got this weird little unicorn superpower. Okay? They just did the things. Don't do that. That looks very wrong. But there is nothing special. And if you think to yourself that you have to be a certain type of person to be at the top of this company, if you actually were able to put all black status presenters into a room, there isn't a single one alike. There isn't a single one alike. You don't have to be like Natasha. You don't have to be like Jay, like Lindsay, like Katie Hamer, like Claire Cohen. Because if you put all of those presenters in a room, not one of them is the same. But what is the same is they did the same things. Okay? So if you're watching this and you've just joined and it's overwhelming and you're looking at these people like Jay said and they seem like they have all of this confidence, that doesn't matter because you're you. As long as you do the actions and you do the things, you will make it. And I know it's really tough when you see people flying through green. I'll throw my hands up. I get dreadful jealousy, absolute dreadful jealousy when I see somebody hit green. I'm like, what? It like sends me into a massive meltdown. But you know what? It's out of my control. It's out of my control. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't know how they work their business. I don't know what they're doing. Is it because they're lucky? No, it's just that they're probably doing the actions and doing more of the actions if we're all honest about it. And in reference to, say, for instance, Ben, who's just smashed green, if you watch his live, I think he works about 20 hours a day. So unless we're working 20 hours a day, you can't compare yourself with that person. You really, really can't. But yeah, touching again just really quickly on what Lindsay and Jay said, everything is out there for you. It is out there for you. But you won't and you will never do it if you aren't good up here. And I know that we go on and on about it, and I know that the others watching this will agree, that's your hardest struggle. It's your hardest struggle, and I promise you it really is. But something I've really learnt with working with Sean is when something hits you and you feel like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'm not good at my makeup, I can't do parties, I can't get sales. That moment is fine. You're allowed that moment, but you let that moment in. You have that moment, you have that self-doubt, that wobble, that depressive, that I'm just gonna drink lots of wine moment, and you let it in. Don't fight it, like massively don't fight it. Have that moment, wallow in that self-pity, but then let it out. That's the biggest thing I would say. Let it out. Don't try and analyse it. Don't try and work out why you've had that moment. Why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling like this? We're so in tune with our minds now that we're like, why? What has brought this on? I need to philosophize about this. No, let it in, let it out. Half an hour ago, I was in a really bad place, and Lindsay will know, and I was like, shall we talk? No, not ready to talk. I'm in the moment. Let me not been let out. I'm like, it's fine. But yeah, whether it's something silly like I've never gone live before, you're going to have that moment. You're going to have that moment where you're like, I've never gone live before. I can't do live. I can't do this. Instead of fighting it, I'm such a firm believer now. Let that in. Let that moment into you. Like, have that. Even day, have that day where you're like, I can't do this live. But then let it out. Just throw it away. Like, that was me having a wobble. I'm fine. I'm good. When I click live, I am not going to set a bomb off and die. Like, but honestly, you are going to, mindset's such an important thing, but everybody always talks about having this amazing mindset, but you are going to have times where you don't have an amazing mindset. And I know I sound like a mother, but that's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine not to have an amazing mindset every now and then. The difference is living and staying in that bad place. I'm just going to give you a really quick story. So a friend of mine had a really bad partner, and there was a really bad incident and stuff. Anyways, I was driving along today, and as I was driving along, he stuck his finger up at me in the car as he drove past. Me, being me, my rage took over my body, okay? In the 15 minutes that I had to drive my children to karate, I was plotting murder, okay? I was working out how I could hurt this person, where I could dispose of the body, and how I could cover it up. Okay? That's what happened to me in that 15 minutes. I then got to karate. It's very rushed. Got the kids changed, blah blah blah. Got them all thingy. Sat down and was like, "Chill out." Like, he just stuck his finger up at you, and you know what? That's his issue, not my issue. That's his issue. And the reason I'm sharing this with you, because you're probably thinking this has nothing to do with me, is because if I'd have stayed within that moment, I would have been raging when I walked through the door to Gareth. I would have been raging with my kids when it came to bath time, raging when it came to dinner time. But I didn't. I just let that in and I let it out. And when you have wobbles and you're fearful and your confidence dips, like, it's okay. It really is okay. But let it in, let it out. Don't stay in it. Otherwise, you'll end up planning murders like me. Go.
Can I just really quickly say, because I loved all of that and I just think it's amazing. I think one of the biggest things that stops everybody is comparison. It's just such an evil thing, comparison, because you just end up telling yourself so many things based on what your feelings are towards somebody else, like whether it's jealousy, whether it's you admiring them and going, God, I could never do that, I can never do that. And comparison will kill any action that you want to take, because as soon as you go to hit a like button or to do your makeup, you'll go, but what if somebody doesn't think I'm as good as the next person, or what if I'm not as good? And I can't tell you how self-harming that is really to your own confidence, because you can't compare yourself. It's your journey time, your actions, anything you do is down to you and nobody else.
It's going to cut off in a minute.
Okay, and very quickly, if you are not a professional makeup artist, that is a better thing for your business, trust me, because you can show people how to do it without any professional training. It is the biggest obstacle I face, because people say to me, it's okay for you, you're a makeup artist. So trust me, learn the skill.